Deuteronomy chapter 3. We left off at the end of chapter 2 where the mentioning of this battle between Sihon, the king of the Amorites, and Israel has tremendous victory over that of Sihon, king of the Amorites. And now we're going to be picking up, they go northward to fight against these allies, the king of Bashan, Og. Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan, and Og, the king of Bashan, came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. Well, now, who was this Og? He was of the giant race, ruled over the northern half of the region of Gilead, and over all Bashan. This district also God proposed Israel to possess. And therefore, before crossing the Jordan, a diversion was made northwards by the Israelites for the purpose of attacking this powerful chief. These two Amorite kings, Og and Sihon, most likely sorely afflicted the far-off cousins of the Israelites, in essence that of Moab and Ammon, in whom neither Moab nor Ammon, though they were connected, far-off cousins, they themselves did not want Israel in the land. So you have to keep this in mind. Israel comes into the land and they automatically go against the enemies of their cousins and defeat them. Israel gaining victory over these evil kings before entering the promised land may have been a way to gain the friendship of their kinsmen, Moab and Ammon, and maybe even Edom. May have been a way to gain the friendship of their kinsmen before settling into Canaan. Look, guys, we're over here. We're not wanting to attack you. They're strictly commanded to not attack Moab, Ammon, nor Edom. So it would be a good way to make peace with them right off the bat. But back to this king Og of Bashan. Og was called the last of the giants, meaning on that side, on the east of the Jordan. We know that there's a lot more giants on the west that they're about to enter into. Og was called the last of the giants on that side of the Jordan, whose bed was about 14 feet long and 6 feet wide, if you read Deuteronomy 3:11. That's actually a pretty good illustration right there. Enormous. So in order to summarize this chapter, it speaks on this war against Og, their victory over him and over all of his people, and then the remembrance of the land allotments to that of Reuben and Gad are mentioned, in which we went over in the book of Numbers, how Reuben and Gad, the two tribes, they wanted to remain on the east of the Jordan, so that's alluded to. The appointment of Joshua as Moses' successor is also mentioned, as well as this. And I besought the Lord, Moses speaking, of course, and I besought the Lord at that time, saying, O Lord God, thou hast begun to show thy servant thy greatness and thy mighty hand. For what God is there in heaven or in earth that can do according to thy works and according to thy might? I pray thee, let me go over and see the good land that is beyond Jordan, that goodly mountain and Lebanon. So Moses, he does have this desire to go over, and he's still making that final plea because he knows that his day is in hand. He's about to go up on the mount, look and see the promised land. We'll come to that, Lord willing. But the Lord was wroth with me for your sakes, and would not hear me. And the Lord said unto me, Let it suffice thee. Speak no more unto me of this matter.
Chapter 3. Then we turned and went up the way to Bashan, and Og the king of Bashan came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. And the Lord said unto me, Fear him not, for I will deliver him and all his people and his land into thy hand. And thou shalt do unto him as thou didst unto Sihon king of the Amorites, which dwelt at Heshbon. So the Lord our God delivered into our hands Og also, the king of Bashan, and all his people, and we smote him until none was left to him remaining. And we took all his cities at that time. There was not a city which we took not from them, 80 cities, all the region of Argob, the kingdom of Og and Bashan. All these cities were fenced with high walls, gates, and bars, beside unwalled towns a great many. And we utterly destroyed them, as we did unto Sihon king of Heshbon, utterly destroying the men, women, and children of every city. But all the cattle and the spoil of the cities we took for a prey to ourselves. And we took at that time out of the hand of the 2 kings of the Amorites the land that was on this side Jordan, from the river of Arnon unto Mount Hermon, which Hermon the Zidonians call Syrian, and the Amorites call it Shinar, all the cities of the plain, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, unto Salcah and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og and Bashan. For only Og, king of Bashan, remained of the remnant of giants. Behold, his bedstead was a bedstead of iron. Is it not in Rabbath of the children of Ammon? 9 cubits was the length thereof, and 4 cubits the breadth of it, after the cubit of a man. And this land, which we possessed at that time, from Aroer, which is by the river Arnon, and half Mount Gilead, and the cities thereof, gave I unto the Reubenites and to the Gadites. And the rest of Gilead, and all Bashan, being the kingdom of Og, gave I unto the half-tribe of Manasseh, all the region of Argob, with all Bashan, which was called the land of giants. Jair the son of Manasseh took all the country of Argob unto the coasts of Geshurai and Maacathi, and called them after his own name, Bashan Havoth Jair, unto this day. And I gave Gilead unto Machir. And unto the Reubenites and unto the Gadites I gave from Gilead even unto the river Arnon half the valley, and the border even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon, the plain also, and Jordan, and the coast thereof, from Chinnereth even unto the sea of the plain, even the salt sea, unto Ashdoth Pisgah eastward. And I commanded you at that time, saying, The Lord your God hath given you this land to possess it. Ye shall pass over armed before your brethren the children of Israel, all that are meet for the war. But your wives, and your little ones, and your cattle, for I know that ye have much cattle, shall abide in your cities which I have given you, until the Lord have given rest unto your brethren, as well as unto you, and until they also possess the land which the Lord your God hath given them beyond Jordan. And then shall ye return every man unto his possession, which I have given you. And I commanded Joshua at that time, saying, Thine eyes have seen all that the Lord your God hath done unto these 2 kings. So shall the Lord do unto all the kingdoms whither thou passest. Ye shall not fear them, for the Lord your God he shall fight for you. And I besought the Lord at that time, saying, O Lord God, thou hast begun to show thy servant thy greatness, and thy mighty hand. For what God is there in heaven or in earth that can do according to thy works, and according to thy might? I pray thee, let me go over, and see the good land that is beyond Jordan, that goodly mountain, and Lebanon. But the Lord was wroth with me for your sakes, and would not hear me. And the Lord said unto me, Let it suffice thee. Speak no more unto me of this matter. Get thee up into the top of Pisgah, and lift up thine eyes westward and northward, and southward and eastward, and behold it with thine eyes. For thou shalt not go over this Jordan. But charge Joshua, and encourage him, and strengthen him, for he shall go over before this people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land which thou shalt see. So we abode in the valley over against Beth Peor.